Welcome back to Cozy English Podcast. I'm Melody.
And I'm Avery. It's so good to be with you all today for another episode.
It really is. You know, Avery, I had a bit of a stressful start to my morning.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, I went to make my morning coffee and I noticed a small puddle of water on the kitchen floor, right under the sink.
Ugh, that's the worst feeling. That little moment of panic where you think, what is this? Where did it come from?
Exactly. So I got some paper towels, cleaned it up, and then I checked the pipes under the sink. I'm no expert, but I could see a slow drip, drip, drip from one of the connections.
Right, you tried to fix it yourself?
I thought about it for a second. I wiggled the pipe a little, but then I realized I could make it much, much worse.
That's a wise decision. That's the moment you realize you need to call in a professional, or in your case, contact your landlord.
And it can be a little intimidating, right? You have to explain the problem clearly, be polite, and make sure someone actually comes to fix it. It requires a specific kind of English.
It absolutely does. You want to be taken seriously without sounding demanding or rude. It's a delicate balance.
That balance is exactly what we're going to talk about today. We want our listeners to feel confident in these situations. So today, let's practice calm, useful English for telling a landlord something is broken.
Perfect, because whether it's a small drip or a big problem like no hot water in the morning, which has happened to me,
A cold shower is a terrible way to start the day.
it really is. But knowing what to say makes it a little less stressful. So in this episode, we'll practice practical English for reporting apartment problems. We'll cover vocabulary, key phrases, and even do a few role plays.
This is going to be so helpful. Let's get started.
All right, before we jump into role-playing a full conversation, let's build our foundation with some key vocabulary and phrases. Knowing these words will make explaining any problem much easier.
Definitely. Let's start with the people involved. The first word is landlord. A landlord is the person or company that owns the apartment or house that you rent.
Right, so you might say, I need to call my landlord about the broken heater. And if the landlord is the owner, then you are the tenant. A tenant is the person who rents the property.
Exactly. The landlord and the tenant. Now, what do you need when something is broken? You need a repair. A repair is the action of fixing something. For example, the sink needs a repair because it is leaking.
And the person who does the repair is often called the maintenance person. Maintenance refers to the work of keeping the building in good condition. You might hear your landlord say, I will send someone from maintenance to look at it.
That's a great one. Let's talk about specific problems. My problem this morning was a leak. A leak is when water escapes from a pipe or container. It's a very common household problem.
Very common. Another one, especially in colder climates, has to do with heating. The heating is a system that warms your apartment. If it stops working in the winter, it's a big problem. You'd say, my heating is broken.
Yes, and that word broken is so useful. It's a simple, clear word that means something is not working correctly. The refrigerator is broken, the window is broken, the lock on the door is broken. Very versatile.
Totally. Another key system in any home is the electricity. This powers your lights and appliances. A problem could be the electricity in the kitchen keeps going out.
Okay, so that's a good list of nouns. Landlord, tenant, repair, leak, heating, broken, maintenance, and electricity. Now let's move on to some phrases that help you structure your conversation.
Yes, this is super important. How do you start the conversation? A great, polite way to begin is, there seems to be a problem. It's soft and not accusatory. For example, hello, there seems to be a problem with the hot water.
I love that phrase. It's so much better than just saying, the hot water is broken. It's more respectful. Then you can describe the problem more directly. For instance, the heater isn't working, or there's a leak in the kitchen.
Right. Clear and simple. The lights in the kitchen stopped working. After you've explained the issue, you need to ask for help. A polite way to do this is, could someone take a look at it?
That's a great question. It's a request, not a demand. Then, of course, you want to know when it will be fixed. So you can ask, when can somebody come? Or, do you know when someone will be able to look at it?
And finally, a very important phrase if the situation is getting more serious is, it's getting worse. This tells the landlord that the problem is escalating. For example, I'm calling again because a small leak is getting worse.
That signals urgency. It says, this needs attention now. So just to recap the phrases, there seems to be a problem. The heater isn't working. Could someone take a look at it? When can somebody come? And it's getting worse.
Excellent. With this vocabulary and these phrases, you are already so much more prepared to handle these conversations. Now, I think it's time to see them in action. Perfect. So, to our listeners, don't feel like you need to memorize all of these at once, but being familiar with them can help you feel more prepared and describe your issue with more confidence.
That's a great one. And what about appliances? An appliance is a machine you use in your home, like a refrigerator, oven, or dishwasher. You could say, the refrigerator is making a strange noise, or the dishwasher is not cleaning the dishes properly.
Or you might have a flickering light. That means the light turns on and off very quickly. It can be a sign of a bigger electrical problem. So you might say, the light in the living room is flickering.
Definitely an emergency. Now for electrical issues. We mentioned electricity going out. You might also have a problem with an outlet. An outlet is where you plug in your electronics. You could say, the outlet in the bedroom isn't working.
And let's not forget the toilet. A very common and urgent problem is a toilet that's overflowing or won't flush. You'd say, my toilet is overflowing, it's an emergency.
Great idea. You might have a clogged drain. That means the water can't go down. For example, the kitchen sink is clogged and the water is not draining. Another common plumbing term is faucet, which is the part the water comes out of in a sink or bathtub.
That's a fantastic list to start with. Let's add a few more specific terms that might come in handy. What about plumbing issues beyond the simple leak?
Let's do it. Time for our first role play. Okay, for our first role play, let's imagine a simple, common problem. It's not an emergency, but it needs to be fixed. Let's say the faucet in the bathroom sink won't stop dripping.
Okay, a dripping faucet. Annoying, but not a crisis. In this scenario, I'll be the tenant, and Melody, you can be the landlord. I'll be making the first phone call to report the issue.
Sounds good. Let's begin. Ring ring. Hello?
Hi, Melody. It's Avery calling from apartment 2B.
Oh, hi, Avery. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I wanted to let you know there seems to be a small problem in the apartment. The faucet in the bathroom sink has started dripping and it won't stop.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. A dripping faucet can be really annoying. Can you tell me when you first noticed it?
I just noticed it this morning. It's a steady drip, even when the handle is turned off completely.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. I'll have our maintenance person, John, take a look at it.
That would be great, thank you. Could someone take a look at it sometime this week?
Yes, of course. He's usually in the building on Wednesdays and Fridays. Would Wednesday morning work for you, around 10 a.m.?
Yes, Wednesday at 10 a.m. is perfect. I'll be home.
Great. I'll schedule that and let him know. If anything changes, I'll give you a call.
Sounds good. Thanks so much for your help, Melody.
You're welcome, Avery. We'll get that fixed for you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
And scene.
That was great. Very smooth and easy. Let's break down what made that conversation successful.
Okay, so first, Avery, you started by identifying yourself and your apartment number. This is so important. Your landlord might have many tenants and needs to know who is calling.
Right. Don't make them guess. Then I use one of our key phrases. There seems to be a small problem. It's polite and it doesn't create immediate stress. I'm signaling that this is not an emergency.
And then you describe the problem clearly and simply. The faucet in the bathroom sink has started dripping. Perfect. I, as the landlord, knew exactly what the issue was.
And your response as the landlord was also great. You were empathetic, saying, I'm sorry to hear that. And you asked for more information. When did you first notice it? That shows you're taking it seriously.
Then we moved to the solution. You asked, could someone take a look at it sometime this week, which is a very polite request. And I was able to offer a specific day and time.
Yes, and we ended the call with a clear plan. We both know that the maintenance person is coming on Wednesday at 10 a.m. There's no confusion. We were both calm, polite, and efficient.
That's the ideal scenario for a non-urgent problem. But what happens when the problem is a little more serious?
Ah, yes. What happens when the situation gets worse? I think that's a perfect topic for our next roleplay. Okay, welcome to our second roleplay. This time, the situation is more urgent. The stakes are higher.
Right. Let's set the scene. It's the coldest night of the year, it's snowing outside, and the heating in your apartment, which was working intermittently before, has now stopped working completely. It's getting really cold inside.
Oof, that is a serious problem. An emergency, really. So the tone of the conversation will be different. It will be more urgent. This time, Melody, you can be the tenant who's feeling very cold, and I will be the landlord.
Okay, I can definitely play the role of a cold and slightly worried tenant. Let's do it. Ring ring.
Hello, this is Avery.
Hi, Avery. This is Melody in apartment 3A. I'm so sorry to call you this late.
Melody, hi, no problem. What's going on?
I'm calling about the heating. I know I mentioned it having some issues last week, but the problem seems worse now. In fact, it stopped working completely about an hour ago, and it's getting really cold in my apartment.
Oh, wow. Okay, it's completely off. You've checked the thermostat and everything?
Yes, I tried everything. There's no air coming from the vents, and the temperature inside is dropping fast.
Okay, I understand. This is an emergency. Let me make a call right now to our 24-hour heating specialists. I need to get someone over there tonight.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Could someone come today or tonight? I mean, it's just that it's the coldest night of the year.
Yes, absolutely. This can't wait until tomorrow. I'm going to call him this very second. Can you give me about 15 minutes? I will call you right back with an update on when he can arrive.
Okay, yes, 15 minutes. Thank you. I'll wait for your call.
All right. In the meantime, please bundle up and stay warm. I'll talk to you very shortly.
Okay, thank you, Avery.
And scene. Whew, I felt the chill in the air with that one.
Me too. Okay, let's analyze this. The dynamic was completely different from the first roleplay.
Completely. Melody, you started by apologizing for calling late, which is a polite thing to do when it's after business hours, but you immediately got to the point.
Right, and I used our key phrases for urgency. I said, the problem seems worse now, and more directly, it's stopped working completely. There's no ambiguity there. The landlord knows this is serious.
Exactly. You also provided important context. It's getting really cold in my apartment. This paints a picture for the landlord and reinforces the emergency.
And your response as the landlord was excellent. You immediately understood the severity. You said, this is an emergency. This validates the tenant's concern and shows you're on their side.
Right. A good landlord will recognize an emergency and act on it. I gave you a clear, immediate action plan. I am calling the specialist right now, and I will call you back in 15 minutes with an update on when he can arrive.
That specific time frame, 15 minutes, is so reassuring. As the tenant, I'm not left wondering what's happening. I know to expect a call soon. Even though I was stressed, the conversation ended with me feeling confident that the problem was being handled.
That's the key. In an emergency, clear communication and a quick action plan are everything. You stayed calm but firm, and you communicated the urgency perfectly.
So we've covered a non-urgent issue and an urgent one, but what about that awkward situation when a repair is delayed?
Ugh, the follow-up call. That can be the trickiest one of all. Let's tackle that next.
All right, it's time for our third and final roleplay. This might be the most challenging conversation for many people, the follow-up call.
Yes, so let's use the scenario from our first roleplay, the dripping faucet. I, as the tenant, was told the maintenance person would come on Wednesday at 10 a.m., but now it's Wednesday afternoon and nobody has come or called.
It's a frustrating situation. You need to be polite, but also firm and clear. You need to remind the landlord of their promise. So, Avery, you'll be the tenant again, and I'll be the landlord who maybe forgot to schedule the repair.
Okay, sounds good. I'm ready. Ring ring.
Hello, this is Melody.
Hi, Melody. It's Avery from apartment 2B again. How are you?
Hi, Avery. I'm well, thanks. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to follow up on the dripping faucet in my bathroom. We had spoken on Monday, and you mentioned the maintenance person would stop by this morning at 10 a.m.
Oh, right. 10 a.m. today. Did he not come by?
No, I was home all morning, but I haven't seen anyone or received the call.
Oh, dear. I am so sorry about that, Avery. There must have been a miscommunication. Let me check his schedule right now. I apologize for the inconvenience.
No problem, I understand. These things happen. Do you have an update on when he might be able to come? The dripping is still pretty constant.
Yes, I'm looking at it now. It seems he was called away for an emergency plumbing issue in another building. I am truly sorry I didn't let you know. He is available on Friday morning. Would that work for you? Absolutely. Let's schedule it for 9 a.m. sharp. I will personally call you on Friday morning to confirm he is on his way. I promise it will get done this time.
Okay, Friday at 9 a.m. sounds great. Thank you for sorting it out.
Of course, and again, my apologies for the delay.
Thank you. Talk to you Friday.
And scene. Wow, you handled that perfectly, Avery. You were the ideal balance of polite and persistent.
Well, thank you. The key is to not get emotional or angry, even if you're feeling frustrated. The goal is to solve the problem.
Exactly. And the phrase you used to start, I just wanted to follow up, is perfect. It's non-confrontational. It's a gentle reminder.
Right, and I stated the facts clearly. We had spoken on Monday, and you mentioned he would stop by this morning at 10. I'm not accusing. I'm just stating what was agreed upon.
And as the landlord, I apologized immediately. A good landlord will take responsibility. Then you asked another key question. Do you have an update on when he might be able to come? This moves the conversation forward towards a new solution.
And when you offered Friday, I made sure to get a specific time by asking, when should I expect someone? I didn't want a vague Friday morning. I wanted a confirmed appointment.
That was a crucial move. Pinning down a specific time makes it much more likely to happen. And my response as the landlord, promising to personally call and confirm, showed that I was taking it seriously this time.
Yes, so the main takeaway here is to stay calm, state the facts of your previous agreements, and work towards a new specific plan. Don't hang up the phone without a clear next step.
Brilliant advice. Okay, we've done 3 role plays. Now it's time to put our listeners in the hot seat.
It's your turn to practice.
Okay, now it's your turn to speak. We're going to give you a few common apartment problems. We want you to use the phrases we've learned to explain the problem and ask for help. Feel free to pause the podcast and say your answer out loud.
Don't be shy. Practicing out loud is one of the best ways to build confidence. Ready? Here is scenario 1. The lights in your kitchen have stopped working. How would you tell your landlord? Start with the phrase, there seems to be a problem with. Go ahead.
Great. You might have said something like, there seems to be a problem with the electricity in the kitchen. The lights stopped working.
Excellent. Now, for the same problem, how would you politely ask for help? Use the phrase, could someone... Take a moment to think and speak.
Wonderful. Maybe you said, could someone take a look at it when they have a chance? Perfect.
Okay, let's try a new scenario. Scenario 2. There is no hot water in your apartment. This is a bit more urgent. First, explain the problem. Go ahead.
Good. A clear way to say it would be, I'm calling because there's a problem with the hot water. It isn't working.
Nice job. Now you need to know when it can be fixed. How would you ask about the repair timeline? Use the word when.
Excellent work. You could ask, when do you think someone can come to fix it? Or, when can somebody come?
Okay, one final practice scenario. Let's say you called about the hot water yesterday and it's still not fixed. How would you start a follow-up call? Remember that polite phrase we used?
Yes, hopefully you said something like, hi, I just wanted to follow up about the hot water problem in my apartment. That's the perfect way to start.
You all did an amazing job. It can feel a little strange talking to yourself, but this kind of practice is incredibly effective for improving your spoken English.
It really is, and now you're much more prepared for these real-life situations.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of Cozy English Podcast. We have covered a lot of ground today.
We really have. We started with essential vocabulary like landlord, tenant, and repair. Then we practiced some incredibly useful phrases to help you manage these conversations politely and effectively.
Let's do a quick recap of the most important phrases. To start the conversation politely, you can say, there seems to be a problem with.
To ask for help, a great phrase is, could someone take a look at it?
To show that a situation is becoming an emergency, you can say, the problem is getting worse, or it stopped working completely.
And for that tricky follow-up call, start with, I just wanted to follow up on, or ask, do you have an update?
The most important thing to remember through all of this is to stay calm and be clear. You don't need complicated grammar or advanced vocabulary. Simple, direct sentences are the most effective.
That's so true. Now you can report apartment problems calmly and clearly in English. We hope you feel more confident and prepared for when you might need to have this conversation in real life. You can do it.
Absolutely. And we'd love to continue the conversation with you. Our question for this week is, write in the comments what apartment problem would annoy you the most? A constant leak, no heating in the winter, or maybe a broken appliance?
Ooh, that's a tough choice. I think no heating is probably the worst. Let us know what you think. Your comments and engagement help our community grow, and we love reading them.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Cozy English Podcast. Until next time, keep practicing and stay cozy.
Bye, everyone.